You dig it, sucker?
It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me as always. We're ready to do this thing, ready to do it like it's supposed to be done. And all you guys hanging out with us inside the Hall of Fame today, getting your champagne wishes and caviar dreams, man. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us today. And I know Callie Toenail out there, so I'm going to just say a big shout out to Callie. Super chatter, the number one super chatter of all time.
Number one, man.
Barely, how you doing, man? How you feel? You know what? I got butterflies right there. I feel, a little antsy. I know I got to get those butterflies to line up and fly straight because we got the biggest weekend that we've had in quite some time. Since Summer Champions, of course, Summer Champions was off the chains. But we getting ready to debut our new building, 9300 Emmett F. Lowry Expressway, on Saturday night. And this show, Reality of Wrestling presents the next chapter. Main event is going to be NXT star Axiom taking on another NXT star, Charlie Dempsey. And those guys, they had this rivalry that's been going on ever since they started back in the UK. So we're going to get a chance to see it up close and personal right here at Reality of Wrestling, where you can only see it at Reality of Wrestling, as well as that co-main event, Gigi Ray taking on the Rebel Buddhist, Promise Braxton. You know what? I'm so proud of both of these young ladies. Both of these young ladies have, kept their head on straight, and they know exactly what this thing is all about. This is a big championship match. So, guys, if you're anywhere in the Texas City and surrounding area, make sure you come out there and show some support to Reality of Wrestling. Right now, we already sold out, but we are going to be putting out some more tickets. We're going to try to make a little bit more space in the building. And guys, come on out and have some fun with the Road Nation. It's going to be good.
I'm so excited for Saturday night. Beginning another chapter in reality wrestling. I've seen the evolution since we were at the old rec center with basketball goals in the background, all the way up to our own arena, and now a new and improved television facility and training arena for everybody. I'm so excited. Again for tomorrow night. And also, I'm with you, Book. I feel the nervousness, but I am looking forward to the NXT showcase. And I know I'm not supposed to be biased, right? Because I'm a broadcaster for the company and I cannot show my allegiances. And this is not an over exaggeration. And this is not me just trying to put on for our own talent. My favorite pro wrestler in the game right now is Promise Braxton. That's my favorite person to watch. And I'm so proud of her and Gigi and everything that they've done. And that's going to be my most anticipated. I'm going to love the NXT showcase. I'm going to love to see all the great champions. But I always love to see the chosen one in the middle of the squared circle and get it done.
I was in the building earlier doing a little work, and one of the guys showed up to get a little training in, and he goes by the name of Rudy Garza. He's he's a pretty high caliber talent in reality of wrestling. He just said, make sure you tell all the guys at NXT that I'm going to steal the show come Saturday night. So I just wanted to let everybody know Rudy put everybody on notice.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah,
I like it. I like the and you as a trainer, I know you like that. I know you like hearing that.
Yeah. I mean, I like call outs. We don't get too many call outs here in the wrestling business like that. So reality wrestling may be starting to trend as far as guys making their own matches in reality of wrestling.
Calling the shot.
No, but seriously, all the work that we put in over this last year, I'm trying to get ready for this thing. And over this last couple of months, Kevin Bernhardt, he's been down there working his butt off. I want to give it, Kevin Bernhardt, his mom and his dad. Everybody has been working. Where you been, Brad? Where you been? You haven't gotten your hands dirty. You haven't gotten your hands dirty. That's the thing. Man. I've been down. We had a new student came in last night, right? And Kevin was talking to him, signing him up, getting him ready to, whatnot. And and the kid goes, is Booker T, around ever? And he goes, yeah, he's in the back laying carpet right now. And the kid comes back there, see me on my hands and knees putting glue down. you know, he goes, "Are you kidding me? This Booker T." And that, more to that story, guys. My students see me do it; they have no choice. They have no choice.
Yeah.
But and I'm like seriously, both hands, both feet, and make sure we get that job done. I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear nobody complaining. None of that, because I'm willing. If you won't do it, I do it myself. And I think I learned that at it wasn't an independent show, but it was not the major leagues, but when I was in the Global Wrestling Federation. I remember having a match with Iceman King Parsons and Action Jackson. It was a tag match. My brother and I guess those two, the Blackbirds, that's what they were called. And we put those guys over, and it was the only time that I ever juiced in the business. The only, and no, seriously, the one and only time I ever did it. And I did it for Iceman and Action, so they could really get over, because we were going to come back and wrestle them again and beat them. And when it came time to do it, I wouldn't say Action, but Iceman didn't want to do the job. And I remember Manny Fernandez, he was the booker, and Manny got so mad. Manny was so mad, and he kicked those guys out of the building. And he said, "Y'all don't want to do it. Damn it, I'll do it myself." And man, Manny Fernandez, and I think it was Johnny Mantel versus me and my brother, and they went out there and did the job for us, man. But we almost started a riot in the sportatorium that night because it was on fire, man. And Manny, it was a valuable lesson that I learned from Manny Fernandez. If you won't do it, damn it, I'll go out and do it myself. And man, what a great night for my brother and I in the Global Wrestling Federation. There's a little story there, story.
That's all. I mean, that's crazy. It's a crazy story. Shout out to Manny Fernandez, right?
Yeah, man, I remember coming up there. Literally, we almost started a riot. I mean, seriously, because Manny was coming up the aisle. A fan actually hit him with a bottle. They got into it with the fans. I mean, security had to come. It was wild. It was a wild night in the sportatorium in Dallas, Texas. My brother can attest to that night as well. If anybody think that's just a made up story, anything like that.
Well, BT, we're gonna make more stories at the new arena, 9300 MDF Lowry Expressway. If you're anywhere in the area, we're gonna try to find a spot for you. If you show up to the building and want to buy a ticket, we're gonna try to figure out how we can squeeze you in there, and maybe you can get one of these sweet shirts like Booker's wearing right now. Row is now. Look at that. Look at that.
And the reason why you can see it is I got my lighting a lot better now.
I see that. Lighting's good. The background is looking fresh.
Everything's clear now. You know what I mean? I mean, you can actually see the kids on the phone and
look at that.
I fixed it. I did it. Oh man, I'm trying to come into this tech world and figure this lighting stuff out and whatnot, trying to get the glare off. But yeah, man, you know what though? All bull aside, we got a whole lot we got to talk to you guys about today inside the Hall of Fame. It's a lot of stories breaking. Of course, the WWE has released a plethora of talent, both main roster as well as NXT, Office, everybody. You know what? Why you think I'm working so hard? Because the phone might ring in a minute. If it's Michael Cole, damn it, I ain't answering. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Anybody. 203 numbers were getting blocked.
I'm just blocking the whole state of Connecticut. Block the whole state.
No, I mean, as well as news in AEW, Adam Cole went down, as well as John Moxley took a gnarly spiel. He was working with that kid.
Who?
Masked kid, John Moxley. Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix, right?
Ray Phoenix. Yes.
Yeah. Ray Phoenix dropped him, and I tell you, I saw it. I actually went back and watched it on YouTube or whatever it was on, and man, what a bump, man! I tell you, that was a nasty um, um, spiel for John Moxley. Hopefully he's okay. They say a mild concussion. We definitely got to talk about that, but as well as guys, you blue chew, you know. You want to put the rocket on it. You want to get in the game. Not in the game, get back in the game, man. To it. And do it. You know the deal, man. You know the deal. But we got a whole lot to talk to you guys about inside the Hall of Fame here today, guys. Like I say, all the super chatters, make sure you guys get your questions in, get them in now, because we will be answering all super chats all day long. So, guys, make sure you like that one right there, right?
That was good. That was good.
Make sure you record that one next time. But stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
What do you think we're doing right now?
Can you dig it, sucker?
Hey, Book, our next sponsor of the Hall of Fame podcast is AG1, the daily foundational nutritional supplement that supports whole body health. I drink it literally every day, and I know you're drinking it too.
Yeah, man. I received a box in the mail, and I said, what is this? And it said AG1. And let me give you a little testimony. I'm a coffee drinker. I've been a coffee drinker every morning for about 25 years. And I drink a big cup of coffee on the way to the airport, and I get on my flight and I still go to sleep. So I realized coffee is not helping me at all. So I say, let me try the AG1. I stopped drinking coffee literally 2 weeks ago. And I drink the AG1 in the morning, first thing. And the first thing I want to do is get in the gym and train. The body transformation has been unbelievable. The energy I have going into my daily routine has been off the chain. So I'm a believer. I'm a believer in AG1.
And you know, Book, for me, I was sick of taking multivitamins every day, and I wanted something that was an all-in-one. And with AG1, it's just a scoop in my water every morning. I mix it up, and it's a foundational nutritional supplement that delivers comprehensive nutrients to the whole body. And for me, the benefits of AG1, I can tell you I have more energy, I have better digestion, better gut health, I have more support for mental clarity and focus. I'm locked in for the whole day since I've been drinking AG1.
And they say LeBron James spent $1.5 million a year on his body. You don't have to do that, guys. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Guys, go to drinkag1.com/Booker. That's drinkag1.com/Booker. Check it out. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. Brad, with everything going on in the news, where do you want to start?
Yeah, I think that we should start with some of the WWE releases that happened today. This is always a sad day for, people in the business and people who support the business, fans of the business, to see some of their favorite names or some of the names that they enjoyed watching perform over the years have to leave WWE. Doesn't mean they're done wrestling, but there's been some notable ones. And I think that we should start with a couple of the big names that were released today. First off, in my opinion, and I know they probably don't like being characterized as this, but two of the most underutilized, I think, talents in pro wrestling history, in my opinion, were released today, and that's Shelton Benjamin and Dolph Ziggler. Both real brand names. Shelton Benjamin, been with the company on and off since, I think, 2003, maybe. Dolph Ziggler around the same time. Dolph's obviously won world title. Shelton, IC champ, had great careers for themselves. They were given their release today. I think we start there, Book. What do you think about Shelton Benjamin and Dolph Ziggler?
Yeah, we just celebrated Shelton Benjamin's 20th anniversary. What, a couple of months ago, maybe 3-4 months ago?
Right.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. And there's one thing about it. Shelton got 20 years out of the business. A lot of guys don't, get that or afforded that opportunity. So Shelton got 20 years out of it. And I think just because he may be released as a talent doesn't mean that he can't find his way back as a, a producer, trainer, coach, whatnot. So I think Shelton has a whole lot of options. I think one thing about Shelton, he was definitely highly valued in the company. He was very highly respected also for what he accomplished, not just in the WWE, what he did in college before he got there, because he was one of those Minnesota boys that came in highly touted, real wrestler that could, tie you up like a pretzel along with Brock Lesnar. So
Yeah.
I think Shelton's going to be okay. That's just my opinion on that. But so Shelton may one door may close, but I think another one is going to open up relatively quick for him.
Yeah, I mean, and Shelton, I don't know how old Shelton is. He doesn't look his age, whatever he is, but he's been in the business, like you said, for 20 plus years. Still has something he can do. If he's not there in WWE, I mean, if I'm AEW, I'm looking at a lot of these guys, but I'm looking at Shelton Benjamin, somebody who's a locker room leader, who can get in there with the veteran experience and the mindset to help a lot of these young guys out. That'd be a nice pickup.
It'll be a nice pickup, as well as he always can go back to Japan and do that gig over there 3 months out of the year and come home, go back, 3 months, that type of deal. So I think Shelton options is open, just because he's kept himself in shape. Shelton's not one of those guys you've ever heard in the press, in the news, as far as some kind of scandal going on or anything like that. Shelton's always been squeaky clean, man. So yeah, like I say, I think one door may close for Shelton, but I think another door is going to open up for him. Boom, just like that.
Well, what do you think of Dolph? I mean, Dolph Ziggler, this is a guy who's been around for a long time. He was part of the Spirit Squad back in the day. He was Chavo Guerrero's caddy, and then he transitioned into Dolph Ziggler, world champion, show stealer. Had a nice run with Braun Breaker and NXT. Was kind of the last story I remember him really being involved with. Tag champ, done a lot of stuff in the business. Hadn't seen him recently in a long time. But what do you think of Dolph?
Dolph seemed like he's been on cruise control for like the last 10 years.
Yeah.
It seemed like he got to a point where he just said, I'm just going to pretty much ride the thing as long as I can. I don't think, Dolph is one of those guys that really never changed, his look. He always was the same guy all the time. And for me, I always have that saying I always had, if you don't change with the times will pass you by. You got to know how to really be able to keep up with what's going on, out there in the music world, the entertainment world and whatnot. And I think Dolph Ziggler just stayed that one character throughout, his whole time. Now, was he a guy that could go out and perform at a very, very high level in the middle of that square circle? Oh, yes. Dolph was a guy that could go out and work with anybody. But then Dolph became that guy that if you needed to get somebody over, you would call Dolph, because and I say that because sometimes you could literally find yourself putting yourself in that position when you do not know how to change with the times. Okay. So, but there again, I think Dolph Ziggler is a guy that'll be okay too. I think he's smart. He's a smart dude. He's a college educated dude as well. He's not just a wrestler. So I see Dolph being okay in life, period.
Yeah, and and again, I don't want to keep ringing the AEW bell, but I said he'd be a good pickup for them too. I mean, I know his brother's over there already, but he also seems like a guy, like you mentioned with Shelton. I wouldn't be surprised if he found his way back in some capacity. It may not even be in the ring, but it could be from some perspective as a coach or trainer or producer.
No doubt. I feel that too.
And one of the things that people have always said about Dolph, and you've said it too, you're like, he can go in the Hall of Fame just on bumping alone. You're right. I mean, one of the great sellers in the business.
Best bump in the business. Best bump of all times.
But what you're saying something, right? I mean, to have that ability to make other people look good and to shine them up.
That's exactly what I mean.
Braun.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, he's a guy that you could call and you could trust Dolph Ziggler to go out there and make sure the job was done properly. And one thing about this business, you need guys like that. That's why Dolph stayed around for more than 20 years. You got to be smart to stick around for more than 20 years in this business, as well as people got to like you. People like Dolph Ziggler. He wasn't a guy that, just like Shelton, you're not going to hear Dolph, in the news. He's not going to have any, haven't heard any scandals along his career. He's been a guy that, like me, put his hard hat on, his boots, come to work, get the job done, go home. But I tried to change with the times at the same time.
Right. Yeah. And Dolph had, like you said, maybe had a similar gimmick for a long time. It was on cruise control as far as maybe the character goes or what have you. But I will say, Dolph, when he cashed in the Money in the Bank, I think it was like after WrestleMania 29, I think he cashed in on Del Rio. I remember the pop when that was one of the most memorable television moments I can remember watching on WWE television in quite some time. It was one of the more memorable post WrestleMania moments was Dolph cashing in, having his moment in the sun as the world champion, even if it was for a short time. That's something no one can ever take away from him.
Oh man, Dolph can, rest easy as far as being one of those guys that made it to that next level. What
and
you
listen
got?
to this, because Cena tweeted this out whenever Dolph was released, but 1,554 matches in the WWE is how many Dolph had. 1,554 matches. It's a lot of matches, man.
A lot of bumping, bro.
Brother.
I think that's well more than I had. I think I'm almost sure.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how many matches you had, but yeah, it's a lot.
That's a lot of matches, a lot of bumps, man. And for me, then again, I maximize my bumps, minimized actually. My bumps.
There you go. One bump max per match. Right?
These house shows, anyway. The house show, you wouldn't get nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. Like I forgot everything. I mean, as far as taking bumps go on the house shows, but TV, I would give them a little bit of something. But house shows, it always, I would go to the guy that I was working with. And, we got to agree on one thing tonight, right? One, two bump max. Okay. All right. Okay, go. Boom. That's the way it works. When you're a pro.
Well, one of the other names that was on the list, and we're going to talk about everybody, obviously, who was released today. And again, we hope that they land on their feet. Well, we hope that they land on their feet.
That was a long list. We ain't talking about all of them.
Well, we'll make mention. We'll make mention of them. But one guy I will say I was a little bit thrown off by, even though he had asked for his release a couple years ago, was Mustafa Ali. Who was kind of in the middle of a nice little feud with Dom on NXT. I think he was penciled in for No Mercy coming up. I think he was really finding his footing as far as the NXT on the NXT brand. And as far as Mustafa Ali goes, I mean, this was a guy who was an injury away from competing for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania against Daniel Bryan. He had big hopes and plans they had for him at one time. Were you surprised at all by Ali's release?
I wasn't surprised. Did I see it coming? No, but I'm not surprised by anything that happens, when it comes to guys, getting released, it's just like Mandy Rose. I didn't see that coming, just was something, when it happens quick. And it's always been that way in this business, as far as guys, being, on that list of guys getting released, and it's always a really, really touch and go time of the year. It's not a fun time of the year at all, so I get it. I totally understand it, but I didn't see Mustafa, name come up or anything. It wasn't like, this guy's, rocking the boat. I didn't see that or anything, but you never know what's going on behind the scenes, as well as with this merger. They're going to be looking to trim a lot of fat. They're going to be looking to, hey, do we really need these guys? So that's why I say I don't, take myself out of that category when it comes to, with guys getting released when it's a merger happening, because it's business. And if you look at this thing as anything other than a business, you can find yourself out in the cold, wondering what the hell happened. That's why, for me, I have several jobs That's why I'm hustling all the time. You know, I'm like Nipsey Hustle, grinding all my life. You know, sacrifice, hustle paid the price. You know, yes, that's what I'm all about. You know, so I love that record right there, man. All my life, grinding all my life, sacrifice, hustle paid the price. You know, oh my God, man. You know, you gotta love it.
I think
Oh
we got
man.
to go to a quick break though
We gotta
here.
take a break. We gotta take a break. We got 20 seconds. But in that 20
Okay.
seconds, I want to make sure I remind you guys, reality of wrestling this weekend is going down Saturday night. Axiom versus Charlie Dempsey. The next chapter, guys. Reality of wrestling's the next chapter. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out if you're anywhere in the surrounding area. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Can you dig it, sucker?
And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
You know, let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, you know, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, along with my man, Brad Gilmore. You heard it. Chew it and do it, man. It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. But, yeah, man, let's continue the saga.
Yeah, we're talking about the unfortunate WWE releases that came down. Now, these are all a part of the TKO merger, which brought the UFC and WWE together. It's still kind of crazy that they're one company now. I don't think that's really set in for me yet. I think once we start seeing some crossover promotion and stuff, perhaps it'll set in a little bit more. But one of the guys who was released was someone who you touted very highly for a long time, and somebody, even when we had a charity auction here in Houston for the Hurricane Harvey, he gave us a scarf and a shirt, and had a great gimmick going for himself. That is Elias or Ezekiel, which he has now confirmed they were the same guy. But Elias, unfortunately, was released today. He had a lot of big moments with a lot of big stars. I mean, Mania 35 in New York, he had a big segment with John Cena. You know, not everybody gets a rub like that at such a stage. I'm never able to get to that next level for whatever reason. But what do you think about Elias no longer with the company?
You know, I liked Elias. You know, he's a guy that I really thought had something unique, special, different than just about everybody on the roster. He was multi-talented, you know, a guy who, of course, was a wrestler, but, you know, I love the performance side of Elias as far as him being able to sing and play that guitar. I really thought I thought that was his meal ticket. I thought that was his bread and butter that really could have taken him to, you know, superstar level. But I think, you know, he really was like caught in between trying to be the wrestler and then just going out there and doing the music as a segment and not really leaning into the music as the source, you know. So I think Elias, you know, I really didn't know Elias, you know, before he, you know, became Elias and was, you know, working in the WWE as that character or anything like that. I don't know him from a personal standpoint or anything, but if he can still, you know, tap into his music, I think his career is definitely something that, you know, he can create and make it of his own.
Yeah, I think that the gimmick was there, and to me, I don't remember who said it. It may have been Colt Cabana. Somebody always said back in the day they were looking for their honky tonk man gimmick, right? The one kind of gimmick that you can always rely on. You be around forever. It's always going to get a pop. And Elias could have had that kind of role and inhabited the honky tonk man. Were you about to say something?
Yeah, but you know, honky could work, man.
Honky could
Honky was,
work. Yeah.
you know, honky was. Excuse me, let me say honky tonk.
Honky tonk. Let's say
Just,
honky tonk. Yeah.
just I don't want to get, I don't want to get
Man, that honky could work. Doesn't translate well. If someone just came in at that moment, you know what I mean? If they just turned the radio on at this very second, they're saying, wait a minute, Booker might have lost it a little bit in his old way.
No, the honky tonk man, he could work. People can say whatever the hell they want to say about the honky tonk man. He didn't do this, he didn't do that. That dude could work. He was one of the best workers that this business has ever produced. And that's just on going out there and making those fans feel a certain way. That bottom line, that's it. So that's the difference. Elias was no honky tonk man in the middle of that square circle, and I think that's where you got to be good at. You know, he didn't have to, you know, do a whole lot, but he had to be good at it. Honky tonk man, he didn't do a whole lot, but he was good at what he did, and he made everybody that he worked look extra special. So I think that was the difference between those two characters.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear that, man. I hear that. It's just, you know, Elias, and they tried to do the repackage with him as Ezekiel to have something, you know, fun come out of the idea. And
that's what I'm talking about. We got
Yeah.
a real chance to see his work in the ring when he was Ezekiel.
Oh, because you're saying he didn't have the gimmick.
No, we got a chance to actually see him get in the ring and work. We didn't get a chance to see Elias work.
Oh, I see what you're
Right?
saying.
We got a chance to see Ezekiel work, and then
Mhm.
the work has to be equal or better.
Mm-hmm. And are you saying you felt like it didn't live up to the same
The wrestling
level?
the wrestling didn't live up to the character that it could have been. In order to really get what we need to get out of not just Elias, but guys that he go out there and work with.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So Elias was one. Now this one was a bit, you know, like again, some of these names didn't surprise me, like Rick Boogs or Dana Brooke, Aaliyah, who actually I really liked Aaliyah a lot. Mason Mansoor, Mace, who trained down with Reality Wrestling. He was in WWE for a long time. I don't know how long he was there. He was there for a long time.
Look, he'll be back. He'll be back. You know,
Okay.
we still got his old gimmick, Great Black Otaku, in one of the locker rooms. So we waiting on you, brother.
You're good anytime. One of the sad ones for me was, you know, WWE announced Elimination Chamber this morning was going to be in Perth, Australia, in a big premium live event. And Emma tweeted out a dream to work at that show. And then she quote tweeted herself and said, "Never mind, WWE just released me." And it was heartbreaking, man. That was a heartbreaker.
I didn't see that. Yeah.
Yeah. She just came back to the company maybe a few months ago, maybe a year ago. That's a rough one. And Emma's another one, man. I don't know why they never really went to the, I mean, obviously if you see some of her matches, especially in her first run at NXT, real solid. And then, you know, beautiful girl, you know, she has the what you would consider the whole package. I would imagine. I don't know why that one never translated.
You know, that's a good question. You know, it's one that I really can't answer. I mean, I
Yeah.
thought Emma, you know, like you say, had the goods. I thought she fit in. But
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, I don't know. Sometimes it's that thing, you know, sometimes things just don't mesh.
Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work out, I guess, for whatever
Yeah,
reason. And
yeah,
and
yeah.
and you know, Emma, her real name I think is Tennille or something like that. Um,
Tennille, I think Tennille Dashwood.
Tennille Dashwood. Yeah, yeah, you're right. And I know she's got, a lot going on in her own life. She's a big travel blogger, and an influencer in that space. So I'm sure she's gonna land on her feet. But it was just heartbreaking for me to see, like, oh, dream come true. WWE in Perth, Australia. Oh my God, that would be a dream. And then, like, the tweet just a few minutes later,
Oh, that's what's
like maybe an
wrong.
hour later.
People need to stay there.
You
People need
don't
to
even.
people need to stay off Twitter. Heck no, I'm not even calling it
X.
X. People need to stay off X, man. You know, X is it's a beautiful thing at the same time. You know, it's like this Chat GTP. That's it, right?
Mhm.
You know, it can
GPT.
GTP, yeah. It can ruin the world. It can ruin the world. It can ruin your whole day. You know, just putting a tweet out there, you know, to see Australia, man, we're going to Australia, and then something like that happened. You know, it can ruin your whole day. You know, so I'd say stay off social media as much as you can, unless you're using it for business. Like me, I'm only using it for business, like this right here. You can get you one of these right now. Just go to
Yeah.
the website, go to realitywrestling.com, do it now. I do it for you because this the showcase shirt for this weekend's event, the next chapter. Oh yes, it's gonna be good. So guys, make sure you get one of the shirts. Order it now, Charmel. I got it in. All right.
You can also click the link in your bio on Instagram and you can buy a shirt there as well. We make sure we get the shirts out. People are getting the shirts. They're gonna get them, man. And were there any other names that popped up that you thought, Dana
Top
Brooke, we
dollar,
said, oh,
top
Top
dollar,
Dollar.
top dollar,
Top
man. Top
Dollar.
dollar. How you gonna leave? How you gonna leave Top Dollar? I was just
Top
with Top
Dollar.
Dollar just a couple of weeks ago at Trill Burger, shooting a little short video for Bun B, and we had some fun, man. You know, this was Top Dollar's second go around as well. And one thing about this business, it's just not for everybody.
Mhm.
It's not. It's not for everybody. One thing about Top Dollar, he's a smart dude. There again, college educated, former NFL player. He's done a lot of big things and seen a lot of big things from a travel perspective as well. So it's not like this is like anything that he hadn't seen before. So I feel like Top Dollar is as good of a lyricist he is. I think that's what Top Dollar's money is. I look at these these YouTubers, the YouTube rappers like Takashi 6ix9ine, and no, I'm serious, man. Trippy Red, man, them suckers getting paid big time. So I really feel like Top Dollar just really need to tap into what he's good at. And what he's good at is that pen and paper and spitting lyrics.
Yeah, well, I could have gone without a 6ix9ine reference to Top Dollar, but all joking aside, yeah, I think that Top was just down.
Whoa. What about Takashi 6ix9ine? It just ruffled your feathers.
He's just awful. He's just awful. And we don't got to go into Takashi right now. But didn't the Top Dollar, he was just down.
I liked some of Takashi.
Don't say that. Don't say that now. Next thing you know, you're gonna be start playing Sexy Red on this show, and I can't have it. I just can't. There's certain thing you always say, "Hey, Brad, if I start to lose it, let me know." You know what I'm saying? I'm letting you know.
Look, I was just talking to Charmel earlier, and she had to show me a picture of Sexy Red.
Oh, good God!
And I go, okay, isn't this the girl that was talking about this and that? Yeah, and she goes, yeah. And she showed it to me. And she was really highly upset about it, because I'm saying, Charmel, she's like, what is going on with this world? That this is it now. This is it. I get it. We got to take a break, guys. We got to take a break. You're in the Hall of Fame. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
Let me tell you something, Cowboys. Trick Williams have never been outnumbered. Look at me, I'm 6'4", 235. Got 8 ass, 3 chains, 2 women, and 2 people can't go up and down the ring. You Cowboys better do the math.
Oh, those stats do not lie.
205 pounds on WWE. I don't believe it. And you, dressed in your leather, and your bedazzles, and your white shoes.
You do not.
And all the way.
Oh, here we go. He said it earlier. Texas size ass whooping. And it's now Trick Williams with that pop-up uppercut.
Yeehaw! Rhinestone Cowboy, here we go!
Trick kick connects to JP Harlow.
Thank you kindly, Trick Williams. Woohoo!
Trick Williams making quick work of JP Harlow and Joey Hyder. As he's right, we still got our main event going on. Coming up next.
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Boom! Welcome back inside welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. Hey, make sure you get you one of these shirts, man. Make sure you get one of these Row Is Now shirts, because Row is about to be on the go. We got a whole lot in store for reality of wrestling throughout the remainder of this year. So make sure if you hear anything about reality of wrestling, perhaps coming in your area, get your tickets, guys. Come out and support the Road Nation. Become a part of the Road Nation at the same time, as well as get you one of these shirts by going to realityofwrestling.com. Do it now. I do it for you.
Yeah, man. A big show going down Saturday.
Yeah.
At the new 9300 Emmett F. Lowry Expressway Arena.
Big time.
Booker was in there putting carpet down, getting his elbow grease in. You know what I mean? We appreciate it.
New mats under all of the workout equipment. I was in my office making sure we get the war room all ready and prepared to go, because it's going to be a lot of preparation going on Saturday for this show. It's going to be it's like a new beginning. It's going to be like a new beginning. So, guys, if you thinking about coming to the show, if anybody's listened to the show and they, have been, one of the guys that just show up at reality, don't show up this month if you ain't buy a ticket. There are no comps. There are no comps. So if anybody thinking about getting in the building for free, security gonna bounce your ass right up out of there. And you know what? He ain't gonna just do it. He gonna do it quick. If you understand what I'm saying. So make sure you guys be on your best behavior come Saturday night. 7:00 bell time, 9300 Emmett F. Lowry Expressway.
We were talking about some of the releases that went down today when people are hearing this, and we definitely wish everybody land on their feet and find a good place to work. You don't want to see any of the members of the roster go down. But one person who speaking of NXT, has been making a name for themselves, and I wanted to get your reaction to an interview that she just gave. This is Lola Vice. You're familiar with Lola Vice?
Yeah, she's just on the show just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, with Roxanne, right? Yeah. She gave an interview to TMZ, right? And I just want to read a quote, and I just want to get your reaction to it. She says, "I am going to be the best superstar in the history of WWE. I've been trusting the process, and it's very cliche to say, but kind of have to do that here. You kind of have to do that here. And they do a really good job of making sure I'm prepared this past year and a half. I've been a little bit more low key, not posting as much, kind of training in silence, starting from scratch and paying my dues. Do you think Lola Vice has the potential to be a massive name in professional wrestling?
Yeah, she just started this in January. Okay. She just started in January. And she went out and performed at a very high level with Roxanne on Tuesday night, to the point to where if she would have beat Roxanne, I wouldn't have been surprised. That's how good she's gotten this quickly. So if she believe it, that's the only thing that matters as far as how good she's going to be. Because one thing about this business, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to believe in you. And then if you know you're good, that's just fuel to your fire. That just adds more intensity to what we got going on. So I see Lola Vice as definitely being someone who could pick this up. How far she goes, that's that chapter just hadn't been written yet, but we're gonna find out. But I really think for someone who has just gotten the business, just debuted in January, and is in the ring with Roxanne Perez, because Roxanne, she's got time under her belt. She's got a lot of time under her belt. And the thing is, and what I say in the ring with Roxanne Perez, she didn't look like she was following the whole time. She didn't look like she was just in the ring having a match where she's just trying to get her feet wet or anything like that. She seemed like she was in total control of what was going on when it was her time to have it going on. So I see her actually picking this thing up a whole lot quicker than the most.
Do you think that her MMA background helps her more with the athleticism, or do you think it plays a role at all?
I think it has to. It can't hurt.
Right.
I don't think it can hurt or anything like that. I think I don't think she's using her MMA background per se like a Ronda Rousey or anything like that, because she actually looked like a professional wrestler. I didn't know Lola Vice was an MMA practitioner until I heard someone say it, and then I looked it up, and I realized after doing research, she had 5 Bellator fights. She was 4-1. She was a black belt in jiu-jitsu. She was a jiu-jitsu champion. I didn't know all of that until I went and looked it up, because she looked like the traditional professional wrestler.
Right. Yeah. I mean, to see what her pedigree was in Bellator. I mean, to get a win in MMA in a professional setting is something, right? And we've seen some people never get a win in their career, and try as hard as you might, right? And to me, to be 4-1 in Bellator is saying something about her badassery, for lack of a better term, and to know that she can go in the ring. And I'm sure people won't take too many liberties with somebody with that background.
As well as she's a good looking girl, and to be able to make the transition from doing MMA, because MMA, it's inevitable that you're going to get beat up in that sport. You're not going to leave that sport looking the way you came in. So for Lola Vice to be able to realize that, hey, I can make a switch to professional wrestling, because not just because I look good or anything like that, but I feel like I can do it, and I feel like I can be one of the best at it. And then for her to prove how good she is at this point, it tells me that she's serious about it. Her not being on social media, posting about it and talking about it and going out and doing it, that tells me a whole lot about her. So big ups to Lola Vice, man. I was just talking about that hot Cholula Green, man, just this Tuesday night, man. I'm talking about spicy, dog. Spicy. What?
Yeah, man. I know. Hey, look. You're not telling no lies. You know what I'm saying? You're not telling no lies.
Tell it like it is, man.
My eyes work, right?
Yeah.
Who else there on the NXT roster should we be looking at that you notice? Because the things that you almost recognize, I don't want to say greatness, but you recognize potential quicker than most because of your teaching background. Is there anybody else we should be looking at from that NXT roster that's on the come up, that might be on level up, that we haven't seen a whole lot of?
Yeah, man. The one guy that's definitely is next level. Can't wait for him to get his flowers and get his props and get up out of there. We're gonna have him actually inside the Hall of Fame, 5 Minutes of Fame, on the podcast tomorrow. So, guys, make sure you tune in and listen to it. Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov is a superstar that's a throwback to the back in the day, before me, the Buzz Sawyers, of the world, that really made you think, man, this guy here is different than everybody else that walks out of that curtain, that walk down that aisle. He's different. There's something about this dude right here. All of those other matches, we just saw those matches, but watch this guy right here go out and do it. You know what I mean? That's what Ilya Dragunov is to me. That wrestler that make that fan feel everything that's going on, and when they walk out of the arena after watching Ilya, they can't wait to come back and watch Ilya again, do it all over again, because they want that adrenaline rush. They want that endorphin one more time that Ilya made them have. So I definitely think that's the one guy. The one guy I really feel like is so talented and so next level, and a guy that's soon to be, making his journey on to what's next.
Yeah, I'm excited to have him in 5 Minutes of Fame, to be able to talk to him. If you haven't heard 5 Minutes of Fame with Tiffany Stratton and Trick Williams, they're available right here on the YouTube channel or on the podcast app. And in Notebook, we got to talk about everything that happened at AEW GrandSlam with some of the injuries that went down, some scary spots for a couple of the guys. And we have a bevy, to use our favorite word, of super chats, but I cannot move on before. This isn't a super chat, but this comment made me laugh, and it would be hard for me not to put it up here on the screen. This is from Amazing Tribe, who I believe is a channel member. Said, Lola Vice is sweet and spicy, like mustard and collard greens with 2 pans of homemade cornbread. It made me chuckle. I couldn't help but not put it up. Man.
I love it, man. I love it too, man. You ain't lying. You ain't lying either, brother. I mean, I'm serious, man. Lola Vice, she got the goods, man. And I tell you, and one thing about the girls at NXT, they bring it. They bring it in every way, shape, and form. And that's what I like about being in NXT, watching the growth of these young ladies, these young men go out there and do their what I call Shakespeare, man, Romeo and Juliet, Phantom of the Opera, right in the middle of that square circle. But one thing about it, no doubt, just like the Carmelo Hayes, just like the Lola Vices of the business, you got to look good doing it, man. You just can't show up and go out and perform. Me and Charmel, we went to a concert about 3 years ago, right? And it was In Vogue. All right. And I used to be a huge In Vogue fan. And I couldn't wait to I couldn't wait to get me some of that, and they walk out on the stage and they look like they was going to Walmart or to the dollar store. All up, they wasn't dressed alike. Hair wasn't done. I'm like, man, let me get up out of here, man. I didn't even want to hear the music after that. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying tomorrow to that story is, you got to look good doing it, man. You just can't do it. You got to look good. You think Liberace would have been Liberace without all the glitz and glamour? Elton John. You know what I mean? No, jeez. You know what I mean? I'm serious. Yeah. Elvis, come on, man. Stick around. Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Matt Damon. Obviously, everyone knows Matt Damon.
Yeah, Knobs beat him up.
Allegedly. Yeah, allegedly.
That's true, that's a true story. That's not allegedly.
Knobs actually. Okay, wait, hold on. So I was about to go somewhere else, but we'll get back to the Matt Damon story about Avatar. I've always heard this. They were at some bar where in Boston,
somewhere. I can't remember where it was.
and Matt Damon happened to be there, and the Nasty Boys and some of the other boys were there. And what he and Knobs, what happened? What happened?
Look, I don't know exactly what happened, but my brother was there. Knobs beat up Matt Damon in a bar, and the thing is, they probably didn't know who Matt Damon was. Knobs and Sags, probably didn't know who Matt Damon was. Matt Damon was just a kid back then. He was just getting started. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like he was the same guy that played Django. But that was Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
Yes.
Well, they both look kind of alike.
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Welcome back to the Hall of Fame. Man, don't ever play that one. When we got to come back, okay? Please. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Oh my God. Man. Oh my God, man.
That's a great moment.
You're crazy.
It's a great moment.
You do look alike a little bit. No, man, but back to the AEW injuries report.
Look, Callie's reminded me when I was in Vegas and I thought I saw Jennifer Lopez. You remember that story? And it was a Jennifer Lopez impersonator. It happens to the best of us.
Oh, man.
It happens to the best of us. We were talking about AEW GrandSlam that went down last night from Arthur Ashe Stadium. This is one of their kind of big shows they've done over the past 3 years since 2021. And there was a couple scary spots. I guess we start with Jon Moxley going into the finish, like you were saying, with Rey Fenix. And, a scary situation, where he was kind of put on his head and looked almost remnant of, Steve Austin, Owen Hart kind of situation in a lot of ways, where you saw the neck and the head spike right into the mat. He was apparently diagnosed with a concussion, is what they're saying at this point. We don't know if there's any more extent to the damage. Again, he dropped the title to Rey Fenix last night. They're saying that wasn't the plan, but after you see what happened, there wasn't really anything they could do much about that.
Yeah. I'm not surprised at all. I said it, I don't know, a few months back, somebody's going to get hurt over there sooner or later. Not saying that I want anybody to get hurt or anything like that, because injuries are a part of the business, but putting yourself in, harm's way for something like that to happen, I think they do it in AEW a whole lot more than, than normal. Just the situation, for instance, with Jungle Boy wanting to use real glass, to cut himself, to potentially, cut whatever, it's a mentality now, with guys actually wanting and needing to feel the pain. I don't get that part of the business today, as far as guys that want to go out there and just fall on a bed of tacks. Me personally, I don't get that. I don't get. I saw also not only Moxley, but Adam Cole and what's the guy? What's the little Spanish kid that do a bunch of the flips? Vikingo. Yeah, he had a significant injury as well that put him out. So the more of this stuff, is more guys try to pull this stuff off, the more injuries are going to happen. It's just part of the game. One thing about the injuries in this business is the injuries are real. Okay, you can't fake that. The injuries, as well as, the injuries hurt. That recovery time is nasty. It's the worst time in one's life, trying to rehab from something. I hated it. So why these guys do that? When I see Darby Allin, do certain things. When I see Sting jumping off the ladder between, but through two tables, yeah, somebody's going to get hurt sooner or later, and it's going to be significant to the point to where somebody's going to have to stop doing it. And I know those guys don't want to stop doing it because I know they love it. They love it enough to throw caution to the wind and let their bodies get beat up. I think John Moxley said before this neck injury that he couldn't even move around before 12 noon.
Oh man, I didn't hear that. Just with is he saying with all the damage that he's had on his body from the
arthritis, and everything that's in his body now? He says he has the arthritis of a 70-year-old man. That's what his doctor said. I didn't say it. That's what he said. That's what John Moxley said. That was before getting dropped on his head. What do you think he's going to feel like now?
Oh, I mean, it's not going to feel good. I'm sure he's not feeling great today.
Okay.
By any stretch of the imagination, yeah.
Exactly my point. So why do it? I don't know. The fans are going to love you whether you do that or not. And then I must say that it's a time and a place to do stuff like that. But I do know working with a guy like Ray Phoenix, who's about, I don't know, 5'8", 5'9".
I don't know.
I'm not trying. Look it up. And John Moxley being a relatively bigger guy, like at 6 foot, 6'2", 6'1" to 6'2". John Moxley not a small guy.
No, well, first of all, yeah, I've met Moxley a few times in person. He's a big cat. He's not a small guy at all. And now the build, height, and weight for Ray Phoenix is 5'10", 220. But
like I say,
the old wrestling,
like I say, 5'8",
4 inches, 20 pounds is right.
5'8", 190. Okay, yeah. That's what he is in real life. He's 5'8", and he's about 190 pounds. And his torso is just not even long enough for that spot to be pulled off properly without John Moxley head hitting the ground. It was doomed from the beginning. And for me, that's where the business has totally changed because back in the day, just say, for instance, Ray Phoenix wanted to do that move. Somebody like me would go, nah, I don't think we should do that move. Maybe let's go talk to the agent about that, because I don't feel comfortable doing that move right there with him. Did I feel comfortable doing it with The Undertaker? Yes, I did, because The Undertaker was 6'9", 6'8". I'm 6'3". My torso is a lot shorter than his, and I was holding on to The Undertaker's body for dear life. I wasn't moving. I already had my neck already scrunched. So I was about this far off the ground when The Undertaker's knees hit. At least 8 inches.
Very minimum.
Bro, so my thing is, put yourself in harm's way. Something can happen. Most of the times it will.
Yeah, but you obviously no one ever is rooting for it. We never want to see any of the guys go down and get hurt. And it was definitely a scary thing to see from Moxley. I didn't see it live. I saw the footage later, and it's one of those where you go like, man, come on, that could have really been bad.
I had to watch it about 5 times just to get the real full impact, and just to at one point, when his head hit, you could see the right by his shoulder, the skin ripple in his shoulder as the impact hit. And I go, oh, that was not good at all. When you see something like that, just because the neck isn't supposed to bend that way.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. It's just like when RVD used to take that DDT. I used to be like, God, man, how the hell do you do that, man? You know what I mean? Seemed like I don't know how he got away with it as long as he did, but it definitely didn't look like it was something that was, conducive to having a good, healthy quality of life, later on in life. Thank God, RVD didn't hurt himself doing that spot, but it was always scary.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things, even with another injury that happened with Adam Cole. Adam Cole's wasn't in-ring related. He jumped off the ramp and landed awkwardly on his leg. Apparently he had to go to the hospital, and they saw him on crutches. We're not sure the full status of his injury. But that isn't when I bring up the Adam Cole injury, because that can be an amalgamation of high risk maneuvers over a certain period of time, to where it could be something as simple as you just jumping off a ramp to the floor, and this thing that's been waiting to gives, right? Now, it also could be a freak accident. I don't know. But I'm just saying, with the style and the high work rate that's required required by AEW and expected from AEW fans, could lead to more things like this happening. I don't think that these are isolated incidents. I think they speak to a larger stylistic issue, because the one guy who again, I know we talk about him a lot on the show, but the one guy I never hear getting injured or taking a move wrong is Chris Jericho. I haven't seen Chris do anything outside of his purview in AEW. I see when people wrestle Chris, they wrestle a Chris Jericho match, like Sammy Guevara did at GrandSlam. Like Will Ospreay did.
I guess that one match he had with Nick Gage.
The Nick Gage match, sure.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
It's about the craziest thing I've seen Chris do in AEW thus far.
But no scary bumps there. Those were more like,
everything was controlled. Everything was controlled in
Yeah.
that match. Everything was, you could tell Chris pretty much set everything up the way he wanted to do it and the way he wanted to take it. As far as him feeling comfortable in a situation. But
and Nick Gage, that man knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I give that guy a lot of credit for creating, what he's created in the business, and still being able to walk around and talk about it because he's the king of the death match here in the modern era, I guess, and. He's still walking around, so obviously he's doing something right. I wouldn't want to be that guy myself, but obviously he's doing something right.
Yeah, so I mean, I just say that to bring up, perhaps adapting, a different style long term. And the thing too, though, is this is more also to the lucha style, right? Lucha style is a lot of moves, a lot of risk, a lot of big kind of high agility, high impact.
Look here, bro.
Stuff.
I'm gonna tell you right now. It is, but it isn't. I worked in Mexico. I've worked in Mexico, and it's the easiest matches, the easiest money I ever made in my life. Everybody do their spot. You run around the ring a little bit. Everybody do their finish on each other. You go home. That's it. Everybody's finishes. No, I swear I had the easiest time. They made the easiest money in Mexico. If anything go wrong, if I get a call, I might be going back. But guys, stick around. The Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. We've been talking a little AEW. Everybody's getting hurt, man. Everybody's getting hurt. A lot of guys went down. We're going to start giving an injury report going weekly as far as what's good. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I know we got some super chats out there. Brad said we got a bevy. We got a bevy super chat. So let's get to the bevy.
Okay, I'll show you something later. Okay, we'll get to our first
super chat.
Cali Toenail. I'm not sure if they wanted to go or if they were simply released, but Dolph could have had another run in Shelton Benjamin, the gold standard, great talent. I blame hanging out with Cedric Alexander.
Did not say it.
Cedric's getting all the heat on this show.
Did not say it, man. Did not say it. I mean, come on. I said the guy, he's a nice guy. Nice guys finish last. You don't want to be hanging with nice guys. Just say, for instance, you go to the club. Hey, you ain't getting no women. None. Zero. You know what I mean? You got to go to the club. You got to have some dirt on you in order for the women to be able to understand. It's a scent. Pheromones, man. It's real. All right? Let's keep it rolling.
Oh my goodness. Did you like Shelton when he did the gold standard and had, his hair gold and all that?
I did.
I thought it was cool.
That was in remnants of Hacksaw Butch Reed when he did that. I don't know if you remember that.
No, that was before my time.
Hacksaw Butch Reed, he was the natural Butch Reed in the WWF.
Okay.
Blonde hair. Yeah.
Well, that wasn't very natural, right?
Well, it was natural.
Okay. Yeah. I feel you.
I
didn't know that back then. He was the natural.
The natural.
Right? The natural.
Yeah.
So who came first, him or Dustin Rhodes? Both the natural, both with the dyed blonde hair.
Butch.
He came first?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure. I'm just asking. Don't you don't get out about it.
Okay, I'm just a history lesson.
I'll look that up. Antonio, great Trillburger Hall of Fame podcast. Everyone should remember, walk into every room as if your mother's in there. Very informative, high energy, full of laughs. That was a great line from Bun.
Tell you, man, Bun B was dropping knowledge, and again, if you didn't get a chance to listen to it live, go back and check it out because I got a lot of knowledge myself, and Bun's younger than me, so you could tell he's been around, the mold heads. You could tell he's got that old soul already, and spitting that knowledge is unbelievable, man. Had a great time with Bun B. Big ups, big ups to Bun.
Big ups to Bun, and if y'all have watched the podcast, even if you're not a hip hop fan, right? Bun drops so much knowledge. Just about life in general, on there. A lot of game. And I'll remember that walking to every room like your mom's there. That was a bar that he dropped on us for sure. This is from Virgil Dawkins. I remember Bruce Pritchard says the reason Vince waits so long to push you guys because he wants them to have a longer career. Do you think that's the case with Ziggler, considering he was there 19 years? I've never heard that philosophy.
I never really heard that philosophy either, but I think Dolph Ziggler was there for 20 years. I guess about 20 years, maybe a little bit more. And I think Dolph Ziggler had a lot of opportunities to the point that he became the world champion. Everybody in this business do not get a chance to become a world champion. And let's just say this for a second. Have Dolph had a Hall of Fame career? Let's talk about that for a second. What do you think? I think so too. I think his number is going to come up as well as being one of those guys who put in so much work. He was one of those carpenters that laid a lot of foundation. So I really think Dolph Ziggler's he's one of those guys that's going to be remembered forever in this business.
Oh yeah, I think Shelton's had a Hall of Fame career too. If you want my personal opinion,
I think so as well.
Big Breezo, what's up, Brad? Book. How do you feel about Price and Nema? I like the authenticity.
You know what I like? Price and Nema. Those guys, they got the look, they got the size, they got that gangster feel. Right now with Scripps, I actually kind of like the trio with those guys. Scripps could actually, him playing a little manager role, but he can, perform at the same time. So That right there, and like I say, Price and Nima, they're like sponges. I'm talking to those guys on a weekly basis. I've definitely got to get them in my class on what not to do. But I think they're gonna be all right.
When you see, I guess if you're out there on the desk and you see somebody out there working and something stands out to you, like, oh man, they shouldn't have done that. Are you writing a note down to talk to them later? Is that how you do it? Or you say, you know what, I'm gonna see if they
It's a
do that
mental note.
again?
It's a mental note. It's a mental note, and
Mental note.
and I don't know how. It's just something that sticks in my head. I wish everything was like that. I'm serious. It just sticks in my head as far as what I need to talk to these guys about, and, and then again, what I need to talk to them about, what not to do, more than anything.
Right.
Because I always talk about in this business when you start doing something from the beginning, the fans want to see you do it all the time, and the promoters want to see you do it all the time. So you can actually back yourself into a corner doing more work than you actually need to be doing. So that's what with these big guys, I need to know how to slow them down. I need to know how to really teach them how to minimize every second that they are out there, because time is precious, as well as 5 minutes can feel like an eternity when you're not doing things right.
Yeah. Oof. Man, 5 minutes can feel like an eternity when you're out not doing something right. Yeah. That is great to think about, because if anybody's ever done anything like, I mean, even if you have to give a speech in class back in the day or a presentation, right? And you weren't prepared and you have to do it for 3 minutes. That's the slowest 3 minutes of your life. I mean, the
Exactly.
slowest.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Oh,
Yeah.
and everybody's looking at you and you know you're effing up. Woo! Terrible
Yeah.
times. Terrible
It feel
times,
like it could
JT.
feel like an eternity. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I was actually watching a judge actually did Mart Arbery case, and he said, I want you guys to feel time for a second. This guy ran for about 5 minutes, gonna put the clock on, and we're gonna let it run for 1 minute. And he just stood there silent for 1 minute. And that 1 minute felt like an eternity. So know how to maximize every second you're out there. It's like Brad can tell me to cut a 30-second promo, and I'll cut that 30-second promo almost to the second, give or take. And I won't say a bunch of nothing. You know what I mean? But you got to know how to maximize that time.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. We got
Yeah.
another one from Mike Edwards. Mike Edwards. Breaking news. Breaking news. Mandy Rhodes OnlyFans is free. My Lord.
It's free now. I guess she getting that much advertisement that, the advertising dollars are coming in big time, strong. Hey, look here. I'm like Tupac. I ain't mad at nobody getting money. If you getting money, hey man, is it the way I would rather, Mandy Rose got that money? Not really, because my sister told me a long time ago, fast money go fast. Fast as you get it, it's gone. You don't value fast money. It's just not something you can value. It's just not part of the deal. Seriously. So hopefully she'll make her way back. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I would love to see her back in WWE or in a professional wrestling environment, because toward the end of that run, man, she started getting so good in
She
the
was
ring.
feeling it. She actually began to start being able to, what I like Becky Lynch. I was just watching her last week, being able to walk and talk. And I'm like, man, she's so good. And I told her that. I said, Becky, you're good. I said, you figured it out. I said, I'm going to tell you, I don't say that about everybody. She goes, yeah, I know it. But I'm serious. She definitely picked it up. And I felt like Mandy was on the cusp of being able to break through.
Yeah, she was getting really good, but hey, is what it is. She's doing what she wants to do. Kappa Owens. Man, Brad and Book, Emma has a mate in the fields. Could have had Rhea versus Emma, just rep the down under. Too cruel. She got engaged too. This is Keith and Mia all over. Oh yeah, I believe, I could be wrong. I think that Emma is engaged to Madcap Moss. I believe. I could be wrong on that. and he was actually given his release today as well. I believe that's the pairing. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on it.
Hey,
Yeah.
man, I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, I thought Emma was. I thought she was talent. Am I surprised? Like I said, I'm not surprised at anything right now, just because this merger, everybody is pretty much, in position to be let go. If you're not one of those main event guys, it's just part of it. It's just part of the business, and it's something that has happened, something that we've had to deal with just about every year for the last 20 plus years I've been a part of this company.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I did confirm that. So Riddick Moss and Emma are an item engaged recently. Madcap Moss, unfortunately, no longer with WWE either. It sucks. But as you said, it's an unfortunate reality of the business.
Yeah.
And when you have a corporate company that's now not owned by the McMahons anymore, it's owned by Endeavor. And it's merged with the UFC. You're looking at zeros and ones every day. And you're thinking about stockholders and shareholders, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it. But that's the name of the game. And
it's
we
business,
hate releasing.
Man. This is a business.
We understand it.
This is a business, man. You're not too far gone to know that. I said that on television not too long ago, and somebody goes, "Is Booker T quoting Prince, the movie Purple Rain?" And I'm gonna tell you right now, whoever said that, you guys are good. You guys are spot on, because that's exactly what I was quoting. Just want to let
Damn,
you,
okay.
just want to give you guys that little nugget right there.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
There you go, BT.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, it is crazy. It is crazy that the people out there on the internet, man, you got to watch out. They're good. They'll figure it out, Book.
When I saw that tweet, I was like, "Wow, this guy's good. Whoever that is, he need to be on Jeopardy." But we gotta get up out of here, man. It's been what I'm serious. It's been awesome hanging out with you guys inside the Hall of Fame today, getting your champagne wishes and caviar drinks. I know I said we was going to talk about CM Punk, and him being able to redefine his career back in the WWE. We're gonna get to that conversation, guys. It's on the block, so make sure you guys tune in for it. But right now, I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Bradley, as always, for the heavy lifting, we appreciate you. But right now, we got to get up out of here, y'all. Peace. We love you. We out.